All show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
You walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, I know we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't you disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a kid just like us. He's a man. You already making big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I am. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had to work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it?
Let's go. Let's go, by God. Let's go.
I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, this game is not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is Winning Wednesday, and I feel like a winner. I mean, I'm not Little Nas X. I'm definitely not who he is right now because he's cutting up. But can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I'm telling you right now, I'm so happy I can't see straight. I can't see straight. My oldest got married to his high school sweetheart yesterday, and I was in the building. Not only was I in the building, I performed the service. Listen, I'm ecstatic. I got a daughter in love now. I'm just excited. My family has expanded, and I saw my oldest son. I already knew he was a man, but I saw him transition right before my very eyes as he was exchanging his handwritten vows. I mean, they wrote their own vows, his vows to his new wife. And man, just hearing his vows and his heart for his new wife, I was just, man, I'm telling you, I can't nobody tell me nothing. Let me go on the phone. Like, hello, you live on the lunch break. Who this?
AJ, man, I don't think you're gonna be singing on American Idol.
Listen, bro, you can't tell me nothing. I don't care nothing about how you think I can sing, bro. You can't knock me off this one today, bro. I'm telling you. I'm like Jalen Rose. I don't care if you don't think I can sing. I'm saying something, man. I got a daughter in love. I got a new family, bro. And I loved every minute of yesterday.
They got married, what's today, Wednesday?
Yeah, they got married on a random Tuesday. I love that about them, too. There is nothing traditional or common about those two right there. And when I grow up, I want to be just like them.
I wanted to pick your brain on college basketball head coaches.
Yeah, man, you know, we can do that all day long. What up, Todd?
Do you ever think we'd see a day where University of North Carolina and Indiana would have a black head coach?
No, not at the same time in the same year. No, I can honestly say, for those who don't understand, I did not think that would happen in my lifetime. Yes, you're right.
Let me ask you this: if we wouldn't have had since the George Floyd killing, right?
Yep.
That wouldn't have happened. Do you think those two hires happened?
It's a good question. I think the Indiana hire might have happened because, remember, they had Kelvin Sampson.
I know, but that didn't work out. So, man,
it didn't work out, but at least they had ventured into that arena once before with a minority hiring. So I'll pull them out of the equation. The Carolina thing now, I think might be a little bit different. You know, they like to keep it in-house, so Hubert Davis met that criteria. But, you know, see, we can say what we want to. Carolina is still Carolina.
But here's something I was curious about Carolina. They like to keep it in-house, right?
Yeah.
Is that necessarily the best thing? Because that's what the Lakers had done for a long time, and it wasn't working for a while, right?
Yeah, but let's admit this: pro and college totally different. Keeping it in house when you got a house full of folks like the players that went through North Carolina ain't a bad thing. I mean, you can start there and kind of check people off, and long before you would need to get outside of the house. Now, if your house is, I don't want to pick on nobody, but if your house is like, I don't know, A&M, you know, it's not a long venture down that checklist of who we can hire that's, you know, doing amazing things that can take us to that next level.
Man, I was surprised by it. I was surprised more by the Indiana hire because Woodson, you know, he's pretty much his whole NBA career as coach has been in the NBA, you know. Yeah. That one took me back, you know, Woodson a little bit older. I thought they were going to make a big push for Scott Drew. You know, he was from Indiana, a little bit younger, you know, got a lot of chops in the college game. But I don't see Scott Drew leaving Baylor. I felt that even before he won the national championship, but I don't know. I don't know if that's progress. I don't think my gut feeling is if what happened to George Floyd did not happen, if we not had the movement since then, I don't think those hires happen.
I agree with you. Definitely on the North Carolina. When I think about Woodson at Indiana, I agree with you. When you got a college coach that doesn't know the rigors of recruiting, you know, it's different, man. It is very, very different. Todd, stay right there. Let me take a quick one, and then we'll come back with more. Todd Malcolm joining us here on the lunch break, Winning Wednesday on the legendary KYOK. We're also going to announce who won the 500 in the bracket challenge. We'll be right back.
Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
I'm Henry Louis Gates Jr. We are people of resilience. No matter what happens, we fight through the pain. We protect our traditions. We uphold our excellence. So let's protect our lives with vaccines we can trust. We can do this.
To learn more about COVID-19 vaccines, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm Ben Tankett, and you are listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, winning Wednesday. And even though Todd's trying to talk about my singing, I'm winning, Doc. I'm winning. You know, what was it? Weekend for last, I spent time with the 17-year-old. She's like, yo, Dad, I just want to hang out with you. Turn off the phone. Priceless. A couple of weeks ago, I had my oldest daughter on the show. She's dropping her new music. Priceless. And now I get to hang out with the oldest child, my namesake, my spitting image, and he's getting married. Priceless. Todd, I can sing, bro. I can sing. Do you hear me?
Man, in the shower, maybe.
Yeah, man. You just a hater. Just a hater, Todd. It's in your DNA, bro.
Man,
and it doesn't look good on you too, by the way. You're a good-looking man. I don't want to. I want to make Amber's choice look good. Good-looking man.
You see me on Twitter. I can get loose on Twitter.
You silly. You are silly on Twitter, man. If y'all are not following Todd on Twitter or on Instagram, you got to do it. Dude is ridiculous. Great follow. But no, Todd, to your point though, that the movement of what happened with George Floyd, I think made a lot of people in a lot of different areas reflect on what they've done, what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they haven't, made certain choices, selections. I mean, think about it. The commissioner of the Big 12 said we've got athletic directors in our conference right now that have never hired a black head coach.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have heard that coming from the commissioner of the Big 12 if things hadn't happened the way that they happened, across the country for that matter?
I don't think so.
So, there's anecdotal goodness that comes out of things like that because Woodson is a good hire. He's a good coach. Now, whether he can either get somebody who can recruit, kind of like your boy did over at UT, getting the assistant from Kansas, who is a serious recruiter, was a big hire. If Woodson can do the same, then it doesn't matter whether Woodson can recruit or not. What matters is they got recruiting in the house.
And I think that's the two. If you look at, and I'm just picking on UT for a minute. If you look at the coaching staff that Charlie Strong brought in and Shaka brought in, if you would ask them privately, where you knew the information wasn't going to get shared, right? And say, Charlie, Shaka, if you could go back to that first coaching staff you brought in, would you have brought in someone different? And I guarantee you they would have said yes, because immediately after year one, they started making changes. And what I like about what Chris Beard is doing, to your point, he went and got, and I'm going to mess his name. Is it Jaron, the guy from Kansas, Jaron Howard, right?
Yeah, Jaron Howard, correct.
He is Bill Self's top recruiter in the state of Texas, right?
Yep.
You got to be strategic about it,
Right.
right? It wasn't just that he was on Bill Self's staff for 7 years. He was his top guy to come and get players from Texas. And I think that's where, so to your point with Mike Woodson, even Hubert Davis, especially Woodson, you're going to have to surround yourself strategically of how you want to build this together versus just bringing guys with you that have coached you on the previous staff. That may not always be the best approach.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. If a guy can coach real well in Virginia and in that region, doesn't mean that they can recruit real well in Texas and in the Southwest. Same thing up there in Indiana. You got to bring a guy or person, let me say, because, man, there's some sisters out there that can recruit too. Bring some people in that can recruit in that area or have an expertise or knowledge or be able to adapt. Because not everybody can. Doesn't mean that they're bad people or that they're not, good at what they do. It's just, certain areas have different tendencies. Certain areas have different, colloquialisms.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to have. No, that's a great point. You could be a heck of a coach in Virginia, right?
Yep.
You come to Texas, if you can't talk the lingo, and you have no ties in your staff, says no inroads to these high school coaches here. it is going to be really hard.
Yep.
It's going to be a tough. It could take you 2 or 3 years just to build a relationship.
Right.
And by then, it could be too late.
Yep.
So I think what you see with what Chris Beard, in addition to that, he's bringing over a guy named Rodney Terry at UTEP.
Yep.
That was on Rick Barnes' staff.
Yep.
So he's bringing in guys deep roads, and I think that's what you have to do when you take jobs like that. You have to be real strategic of, what you're putting together.
Yeah, so here's I answered my own question. What does it mean that UT has all that money? Because it's not like he can go out and buy players. Can't do that in college. And I said it comes down to this. Chris Beard's got to be able to recruit and coach. And I now correct that. He knows that he can use that money to go out and get top assistant coaches that can help him recruit and coach. And that's where that big mega trove, behemoth trove of money that UT can come into use and give you a better advantage than at a Texas Tech or somewhere else like that. So he's using that money wisely, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah, I mean, so some people may say, hey, why would a Jaron Howard want to leave KU to come here? He's probably want to continue to build his resume,
Yeah.
And he probably wants to be a head coach too one day. And he's looking, hey, I've done all I can do here. Texas has not been as successful as KU. If I can be part of that turnaround, that may springboard me into a head coaching job.
Oh, and listen, and do not underestimate the fact that KU is on, I guess, the NCAA's radar. I don't put much stock in that. But they also just gave Bill Self a lifetime contract. And if Jaron was looking forward to moving up, obviously you're not going to be able to move up there. So you're right. Now's the time to go ahead and expand the resume, put yourself in a position where you can be looked at for that top job, when his time comes. And, oh, yeah, by the way, if you can make a little extra change in the process, let's get it.
I mean, that's a good point. And to your point about the NCAA, they're not going to come after the big dogs like North Carolina, Kansas, Duke. They seem to let them fly under the radar. But he may not want that on his resume either. If something were to come down, he doesn't want to be there when it does. Absolutely.
I wouldn't want that, especially when you're trying to climb. You don't want those stains. Bill Self might be able to survive it. Everybody else might not. So you got another minute, Todd? Another few minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me take another quick one. Coming back with Todd Malcolm right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK, 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
This is Brian Courtney Wilson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. And y'all, we got a new sponsor in the family. And it's one that's going to help y'all in more ways than one. That's right. Dickey's Barbecue is giving away some some ribs. That's right, for ribs and sandwiches, all of that available to you. We got some coupons to give away where you can go get some Dickies on us. And before I stopped eating meat, went pescatarian. Let me tell you something. Dickies was and is a staple. So get ready to win some Dickies coupons where you can go and get it free on us. We'll be giving those away today. So keep listening for your chance to win. All right, Todd.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Todd.
Yes, sir.
All this is fun and good. But you know I had to get you. I got you sucked in a little bit. I had to get you.
Okay.
UT is now on notice, bro. UT is now on notice. You can't win the Big 12. You can't win the Big 12 tournament. You got to win the chip, bro. You got to win the chip. Kansas has a chip. Baylor has a chip. Texas Tech has been to the Final Four.
Texas Tech been to the finals.
Been to the finals. There you go. Y'all are on notice, bro. Chris Beard with all those. I'm again, my concern is the off. Well, I can't even call it off court stuff because he does it on the court. I ain't talking about coaching. I ain't talking about recruiting.
Yeah.
All those other antics, if they don't result in at least a Final Four appearance, finals appearance, or chip, we just talking. We ain't talking about nothing. We just talking.
Man, I think Chris Beard is not only is he going to win, I think he's going to win big.
That's fine and well, Todd. I hear you. But like I'm saying, again, this is not hate on UT. UT is not a basketball school, but they're trying to be. I get that. I'm not mad at them for trying to be. But let's just be real. They haven't been a football school in a minute either. When last time they've been to the college football playoffs or the BCS or won a championship?
So here's how I'll handle that. Here's how I'll answer that, okay? So Chris Del Conte's the AD there. He's been there. I think this will be going on his third year.
I was going to say third or fourth. Go ahead.
So when he came in, it was already kind of a mess to begin with, and he's slowly cleaning it up. And I'll give you an example about one hire he's made already, okay? So he hired a guy by the name of Vic Schaefer for the women's team, right? He came over from Mississippi State. If anyone follows women's basketball, they know Mississippi State was always good, okay? First year, out the gate, he gets them to the Elite Eight, okay? So softball team, I do from Oregon. They doing great. Track doing great. Right. But now it needs to be the two big sports. And now Chris Beard and Stephen Sarkisian are his first two hires, right? And I think you'll see the impact on the men's basketball team that you saw with his hire with Vic Schaefer on the women's team. I think it's going to be that dramatic where the previous women coach, Karen Aston, she just recently got the UTSA job, by the way. Good coach, just could never make deep tournament runs, right? Vic Schaefer out the gate, COVID, limited practices, Elite Eight run, beats Maryland, right? That was the top seed. And I think Chris Beard will have that exact same impact. Texas has been lazy on basketball. It's not that they couldn't have been a good basketball school. They just have not made the commitment to it as far as facilities and, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that hire and the Sarkisian one, you will see those two sports pick up like the other hires he's made, and some of the other sports don't get as much attention.
Well, let me just tell you something. I got my good glasses on. I'm looking for it. And again, I hear everything you said. Track program's always been solid. They've been even more solid of late. Baseball, softball, that's great. But, right now, you know what it is, football and basketball. And these two hires have got to produce. Both of them are kind of out of the box. Both of them bring in guys who are, I'm not going to say questionable, but they got coaching talent. It's the other stuff that cannot even run parallel to the coaching. None of that Sarkisian cannot have another slip up. Chris Beard cannot let antics get in the way of wins and good coaching, good recruiting. So we'll see, man. All I'm saying is y'all on the clock because it's been a long time since Vince. And to me, every year Vince moves higher up on the the greatest of the great ladders because nobody after him has been able to get it done. And basketball wise, well, we still waiting.
But that speaks to the dysfunction in the administration and athletic department. Since Vince, they tried to roll with an interim AD that was like an attorney. They hired a dude, Steve Patterson, that they fired a year into the job because everyone hated him. And that's the outcome. You get years down the road of trying to clean it up. So when you get a guy like Chris O'Connell, to his credit, some athletic directors, when you hire them, AJ, they come in from the get and they fire everybody. And they say, I'm going to hire everyone. But he didn't do that. He said, I'm going to come in, I'm going to evaluate, I want to see for myself, and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
He didn't come in and say, Shaka, Tom Herman, you gone. I'm hiring my guy from the jump.
Yep.
Now, if he would have done that, we would have been further along in those two sports you're talking about. Because then he could have went out and got a Chris Beard sooner. He could have got a Sarkisian or somebody else sooner. But to his credit, he said, you know what? I don't know you. I've been working with you. Let's work together. Let's see if this is a fit, right? And it turned out, it didn't get the results long term they wanted. They parted ways on both of those people I'm talking about.
Yep.
So,
I'll say this, bro. I'm not mad at his approach. It's just got to produce results because UT has too much to not be as good. I mean, when you look at the powers in both sports, UT's not even in the conversation. When you look at the Power Fives in football, UT ain't in that conversation no more. And definitely when you look at the Power Fives in basketball, they haven't been in that conversation in a long time.
And you're right. No one can even debate that. But I think when you look at Chris Delconte's track record with other hires he makes, I really think Beard is going to be a Vic Schaefer type hire. And I think Steve Sarkisian, I'm not as confident on that one as Chris Beard. I mean, Chris Beard's roots in Texas are deep. I'm 100% confident on that. Sarkisian, I'm like 55, 60% to be honest with you, AJ. I'm not 100%. Like, my whole deal with Tom Herman, it was, don't make the change unless it was obvious. But I think Tom Herman was so hated in the building, they had to get him up out of there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ain't no argument at all. Let's do this real quick, Todd. Give me your top 4 in the Big 12 in football right now. Go.
Coaches or just teams?
Teams.
Oh, man. Oklahoma, Iowa State.
Oklahoma State. Let me help you.
Man, but we beat them, though, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, Iowa State. Those are going to be the two heavyweights for sure. I think that third spot is up for grabs. I mean, who is a team that you would say is a clear cut to say, you know what, that's the team right there. I think right there you could go TCU maybe, you could go Texas maybe. You're right, maybe Oklahoma State. They got a junior quarterback coming back.
That's what I'm saying. Oklahoma State has been more consistent. I mean, you're talking about one loss here, one loss there. Everybody can beat anybody at any time. But I'm talking about consistency right now. Oklahoma State's in that number 3 spot. TCU falls into that number 4 spot, and then it's up for grabs after that. For me.
Yeah, I think with Sarkisian, that first year, I don't know what's realistic expectations, to be honest with you. I don't know what people are. I think the quarterback play, I think people are going to be surprised how much better it is. Sam Ehlinger, we all know about the whole story with him, and that's great. But he was a limited passer. I think the kid, Casey Thompson, is going to be, literally significant. When you watch Casey Thompson play, AJ, you're going to look back and say, wow, that was on your bench?
And that's why I say, man, we got Todd Malcolm joining us here on the lunch break. That's why I say I get it, what's happening in the future. But just right now, UT has just not been top 5 in their conference consistent. Had spurts, had moments where, They took LSU down to the last play or two, where they beat people in overtime, where they came back and beat folks. But consistently, they just have not been there in the last several years. And the reality is Oklahoma has been consistent. Iowa State has been consistent. Oklahoma State has been consistent. You can even argue that UT has been closer to Kansas State and the rest of those guys. Got potential, see bright spots, see players, and that's not a good comparison. That's not where you want to be. It should be Oklahoma and UT consistently.
So here, let me give you the difference between Oklahoma and Texas has been probably since 2012, okay? 2012, 2013. University of Oklahoma has had the mentality, we have to win, right? Like it's like life or death, right? Texas has had the mentality as an administration, we want to win, right? So like if you want to lose weight, right?
Yeah, man, I get you.
You say, I got to get this weight off. Like, there's no other choice. It's coming off. But I say, AJ, yeah, man, I want to lose weight. But so top down, the AD at Oklahoma has been there for over 10 years. We've had too much change. AD come and go, school president come and go. Those teams you're winning that are consistent, like Gundy's been there over 15 years. You got to have alignment from the school president, AD, head coach. If those three pieces keep revolving doors, it's going to look like a mess.
And I agree with you. And that's why I say Conte's got to be the right guy. It starts from the top down because you can't be changing. That's why the whole Charlie Strong thing back to then. You got to give guys time. Look how much time Drew got over there in Baylor on the basketball side. And now it's paid off. Man, that's the first time a team from Texas has won a chip since 1966.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you got to realize I got something. What can I do to give that person what they need to do what we all want to do? You got to have the right people. On the basketball side, give me your top four Big 12.
Man, that's a good one. Going into next year, Baylor, obviously.
Yeah.
Baylor's going to be at number one. Number two, man, that's going to be an interesting one.
Man, go on, say it and quit hating on Kansas. Go on, put them right there at number two.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have to. I mean, they get so much talent. I would say probably Kansas number two. Then outside of that, for 3 and 4, I would probably put up in there, maybe Texas, Oklahoma State. So if you could maybe reverse the order.
Man, look, Todd, I'm praying for you, bro. You the one that got me interested in Big 12 basketball. Let me give you your top four. It's number one, Baylor. You can't put anybody over them right now. Number two, Kansas. Number three, Oklahoma. And number four, Todd. Number four, Todd.
Okay.
That's where it's up for grabs.
Up for grabs?
That's where it's up for grabs. But I'm going to tell you who's in there right now, Texas Tech. We don't know what they're going to be with their new coach and what have you. But that's been your consistent top four in the Big 12. Baylor, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech.
I think with that transfer portal, I think Beard can build it quick. I think with Texas Tech, they got so many guys leaving. They promoted the assistant coach, and a lot of times that doesn't work out too well, in my opinion. To me, that's always been kind of more of a comfort hire. And it normally doesn't have the same, success long term. That's just kind of what I've seen.
Yeah.
But I think with the transfer portal, these teams can rebuild quicker than they could in the past.
Yeah.
They said the other day, like in the basketball, they got like over 1,000 kids, AJ, in the transfer portal. And you got some kids in the portal, AJ, that were starters.
Right.
And so I'm kind of lost on that.
Yeah.
So why are you jumping in the portal if you played a lot? I'm not really used to seeing that. So I'm not sure kind of what's behind it, unless it's just a personality conflict. They don't like the coach or something like that. But I think you can rebuild your basketball program pretty quick in college with this, if you look at Baylor's roster, half of the team was transfers. I mean, Davion Mitchell transferred from Auburn, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think the formula doesn't necessarily have to be everybody straight through the high school ranks. It's kind of a blend. But to give Baylor credit, they nailed their evaluations on guys that transferred.
Yep.
Amen. They hit on everybody, and not everybody can do that.
Yeah, good segue. Davion Mitchell announced he's turning pro after, of course, winning the chip over there at Baylor. You know, good for him. You know, transferred to the school, led them. He didn't just get on the team, led them to their first national championship. And then Arizona's parting ways finally with Sean Miller, done it at Arizona after 12 seasons there. You know, look, the NCAA ought to be done with their investigation. Well, no, it ain't even the NCAA. It's the FBI. What they doing? Come on, man. I need to give them the list of people that need to be locked up. Not these assistant coaches, but you need to be locking up Bill Self. You need to be locking up Sean Miller. You need to be locking up the former coach at LSU. You need to be locking up somebody down there on Tobacco Row.
Don't forget Coach K.
I noticed I said on Tobacco Row.
Yeah. Coach K been living dirty, but he's one of those people that the media feels if they call him out, they're going to get crucified for it.
That's why I said on Tobacco Row. I got folks in my inbox talking real bad to me, man.
So I don't get it, man. Coach K been, you know, there's a lot of story about how Zion, you know, showed up there. He was supposed to go somewhere else, and you know, somehow he miraculously ends up at
Duke.
I mean, college basketball is more dirty than college football because there's only so many kids out there that are 7 foot, 6'8", 6'9". You know, football, more kids are 5'10", 6 foot. You know, you can find more kids that got speed, athleticism at that height, but no, basketball, they need to clean up. The Arizona needs to be on like a 2-year death penalty. Kansas, Duke, and whoever else is in that mix.
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me. They were literally having conversations about Rick Pitino going to another Power 5 school. And I'm like, wait a minute, another Power 5 prison is what we're talking about?
Yep.
There's no way in the world that Rick Pitino should be coaching, let alone be talking about getting hired at a different Power 5 school. I'm sorry. We just got to stop with this nonsense. Oh, well, he didn't know. Well, he should have known.
I think, you know, it's weird, AJ. I just don't think, and I'm not defending these schools, they just can't help themselves. They want to win so bad that they're willing to just, it'd be like if someone hired Art Briles.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The temptation, and don't get me wrong, anywhere Rick Pitino has gone in college, not in the NBA, he will win. But he's going to cross every line possible to make that happen, which is why he wins, right?
Man, you look, Christians ain't going to like this, but even the devil can perform miracles.
Yeah.
So just because a guy can coach and get you some wins doesn't mean that's who you need to be dealing with. And I'm just telling you, man, it's time. If NCAA sports is serious about being integral, what have you, then they need to start calling these people out and giving them their just due. And that's why you never gonna get me to say that the transfer portal is a bad idea. You never gonna get me to say that paying the players is a bad idea. You never gonna get me to say, oh, the scholarship is good enough. Like you just said, it pays these programs to find a way to cheat and win because the payoff is so huge. And at the end of it, the coaches aren't getting suspended. The coaches aren't being locked up. The kids are. So, no, bro, pay them kids, let them transfer when they want to. Let them, whatever they get as a benefit, I'm for it.
Let me ask you a question on the transfer portal, right? I'm going to use an extreme example, okay? So you got 4 years of eligibility, right? Let's say the NCAA today said you can transfer as much as you want, just one time per year, okay? So let's say a kid started out at Texas. After his freshman year, he goes to U of H, okay? He plays at U of H his sophomore year. Then his junior year, he drops down to Texas State. And then his senior year, he goes to SMU. Is that too much? I mean, he's got his 4 years. He used it up, got his degree, transfer all those places. Is that abusing the rule, or you have no problem with it?
I got no problem with it because I got a real life example. Tom Savage used to play for the Texans. checked out how many schools he went to, and didn't even use the transfer portal. So the deal is the ability to do that has always been there. It's just guys willing to use it and go through what they had to go through to make it work. So all they did was update themselves, if you will. And I don't have a problem with that. Plus, we're talking about 17, 18, 19-year-olds. What do they do sometimes? Change their minds. Yeah. Why should a kid? That's why, man, I'm telling you, one of them coaches ran me hot. I think it was Roy Williams talking about a kid needs to honor his commitment. And just because Roy honored his commitment, he coached for 2 schools, coached for Kansas, coached for North Carolina. Just because he did that, don't mean that there aren't other coaches out there that are not doing that. And oh yeah, by the way, they getting paid millions of dollars to not do that. No, I'm not going to hold those kids to that. No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, I mean, I don't really have an issue with it either. The only thing I would say is, hey, you can only do it once per calendar year. That's one thing I would throw in there. I really don't have an issue with it either. The more I thought about it, I mean, because like I said, these coaches be up and going whenever they want, so I really don't have an issue with it.
Coaches, athletic directors, assistant coach, everybody but the kids. Now, let them transfer. I don't care if they stay for a minute, don't like it, and go somewhere else. Sorry.
So, can we talk Deshaun Watson question?
Yeah, stay right there. Let me do a quick one. Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, be back with Todd. Appreciate him joining me on Winning Wednesday. I didn't get a chance to do Team Texas Tuesday yesterday because I was at the wedding. But we're getting it in today. We'll be right back right after these messages on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. I'm Henry Louis Gates Jr. We are people of resilience. No matter what happens, we fight through the pain. We protect our traditions. We uphold our excellence. So let's protect our lives with vaccines we can trust. We can do this.
To learn more about COVID-19 vaccines, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
My name is Devon McDonald from Jamaica, live with Indianapolis Colts, and listen to the lunch break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Winning Wednesday. I'm AJ Jones hanging out with Todd. Todd trying to be the caller of the year for 2021. I like it, Todd. Off to a good start here in April. We got to talk Deshaun Watson press conference yesterday. One lady was there. She was the original filer of the first civil lawsuit, gave her name, said she was taking her power back. Another lady was not there, but a statement was read on her behalf where her name was revealed, and she too saying that she's fighting for those who've been sexually assaulted. And then HPD revealed that they have received additional police reports concerning Watson. Now, police reports are different than, he's been arrested or about to be arrested or what have you. I'm, again, not trying to minimize it, but I can go and file a police report because somebody's playing their music too loud. Or I can go file a police report because somebody's dog is digging up my yard. So, these things have not yet been litigated and finalized, but I'll be the first to tell you none of it looks good. So go ahead, Todd. What were your thoughts on what you know thus far?
So with the do you think this thing will play out in years? Because you got so many cases and the legal system never moves fast. So how does this thing play out for him? Is this a scenario he may not be on the field for a couple of years just because of the legal part? May just take forever to work through all that?
Yeah, that's the X factor. So we've seen it before. When things can be drawn out legally for a long time, the NFL steps in and makes a decision. They will go ahead and dole out their punishment or not. They'll go in and they can go in and suspend a guy for 4 games, 6 games, whatever their rules allow, and then allow a team to bring him in if they so desire. And then once they know more from the legal process, they reserve the right then to then pull him off the field and do what they need to do. But we've seen it in the case of Kareem Hunt. We've seen it in the case of Ezekiel Elliott. We saw it in the case of Ben Roethlisberger. The NFL can do their own thing because teams want to know, is this guy available or is he not, and go from there.
Yeah, I just don't see this thing resolving quick enough where I don't see him playing this year in 2021. I could be wrong, unless this thing goes one way or the other pretty quickly. But even beyond that, man, sometimes you just see these lawsuits just carry out over years,
Yeah, but again, I don't think, this probably gonna sound bad, I don't think the NFL owners or general managers or whatever are going to let Deshaun Watson sit on the shelf for 2-3 years. They're not going to do that. I think what's going to happen is the NFL is going to step in and make a preliminary ruling or suspension or whatever. Right. And then you're probably going to see the Texans try to void his contract. And once they do that, I'm almost certain that an NFL team will try to bring him in, do the typical press conference. We believe that, he's first of all, we take all these sexual assault charges very seriously. We think women deserve a right to have their day in court. That being said, we also believe people are innocent until proven guilty. And until such is the case, we're going to bring Deshaun in, and we're going to surround him with people that'll keep him out of trouble. And we're not going to answer any further questions right now. And they'll put him on and they'll let him play. If he's suspended and served his suspension for the league and nothing has been resolved in court, somebody's going to step out there and be that team.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. There's somebody out there that will pick him up. Because like you said, you brought up Kareem Hunt. The Browns picked him up quick.
Yep.
You're right. If he gets released from the Texans, they void out the contract, someone's going to take a flyer on him and just say, hey, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we'll go and take the chance and hope it is, he's back sooner than later.
And hear me, I'm not trying to, be one of these writers for suspense TV or anything like that, but there's a couple of owners out there that could make some phone calls and sadly they could make, if any of this is true or borderline true, or there's not enough evidence, how can we resolve this so we can make it go away? And I'm just telling you, man, it's kind of crazy. One of the other things that came out of that presser yesterday was Tony Busby, the attorney, started alluding to possible culpability by the Texans. And somebody said, oh, well, this proves that the Texans had nothing to do with it. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. In fact, it could be all part of, throw a little blame our way. That way it takes us off the hook. Because the truth of the matter is, NFL teams employ security. And I'm not talking about gate security. I'm not talking about locker room security. I'm talking about private investigators that keep an eye on their most prized, if you will, or biggest investments. Quarterbacks, players that are about to get big contracts or just got big contracts. They know more about you than you want them to know. So there is no way that the team did not know that Deshaun was having a bunch of, massage therapist sessions. And it came out that the team even gave him one of their massage tables and referred him to some of the massage therapists that are involved. So, again, there's a lot of layers to this that have got to be squared away. I think it's going to end up with the Texans voiding his contract one way or another, not having to pay him another dime, and another team stepping out there and risking bringing him in.
Yeah, I think this is just my gut feeling long term how it plays out. Do I see a scenario where he's charged criminally? My gut says no for whatever reason, and that's not any kind of insider information. I just think it's going to be really hard to prove criminally, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean something criminal didn't happen, but they're just.
I agree.
If the physical evidence is, like I use an example, you and me playing basketball at the park. I lose, I get mad at you, I punch you, right?
Yep.
Go file a police report, and only me and you were at the park.
Yep.
No witnesses, no camera.
Yep.
They'll say, Mr. Jones, hey, he probably did do it, but we can't go lock him up in jail just because you said so.
Right.
And that's why we have a legal system. Is the burden of proof has to be there. I don't see that. I see some civil stuff of those coming through. The burden of proof is so much less.
Yeah.
I don't see it ending criminally. I just, like I said this before with him, if they are true, and I use the word if because, like I said, it's allegations now. I just hope he has people in his inner circle that he could confide to if it is true and say, yeah, I got a problem. And that's the hardest part. When I've done a lot of research on this is that when, especially with men, getting to that point, if some men have that problem of just saying that is the hardest part to make that first step.
Yeah, and Todd, I've called your name several times. I said Todd really has, probably a more a realistic and truthful view of this. It could be all the above. It could be he didn't, intend to sexually assault these women, but he's got a problem. It could be that. Yeah. I'm not saying that's what it is. It could be that. And, just because we kind of see a person realistically doesn't mean we don't believe in them, we don't support them, or that they're not innocent until proven guilty. If I was Deshaun Watson's advisor, I'd say, hey, yo, D, why so many different massage therapists? We got to cut that down. We got to get people that we know is going to do the right job, and we got to make sure that, that you're doing the right thing and don't expose yourself to this kind of liability again. So that's that one side of it. But to your point, if he's not charged criminally, whatever the settlement's got to be civilly, somebody in the NFL is going to take a chance on him. You don't have to folks don't have to like this. If he's charged criminally and found guilty, that's a game changer. All who knows what happens after that. But if he's not convicted criminally and ends up, whatever the case outcome, whether he settles, whether he pays people off, whatever, and I'm not talking about pay people off illegally. I'm talking about, hey, listen, I didn't do this. You say I did. Let's find a settlement and make it just go away for your sake and mine. If he does that, somebody is going to take a chance on him in the NFL. There's just no stopping that. And it'll be sooner than later. It won't be years. It will be sooner than later.
Oh, AJ, if he gets released, is it 24 hours? What's the waiver period? There's like some little window, right?
Yeah. There's you got 24 hours, and then I think in the waiver process, the team with the worst record or with the highest compensatory value or whatever, they're owed the most from a trade or whatever. They get first crack, and if he clears waivers from all of them, then everybody has a shot at him.
What was the dude for the Panthers that the Cowboys picked up? Hardy, right?
Yep.
Everyone should just look at that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Once I saw the Cowboys pick him up, and then there was another team after him and gave him a shot, I was like, man, what he was with him, I don't. Tell me if I'm wrong for saying. I don't even say alleged because he was convicted by a judge in what they call it. What do you call it? A bench trial.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Where it's in North Carolina, you can just go before the judge.
Yeah.
This way, he was found guilty. He appealed it. Well, I think the next one, the appeal, then you can bring a jury in. Then him and the young lady settled in a court, right?
Correct.
But with him, there was a guilty verdict, right?
Right.
And obviously something happened afterwards. But once I saw the Cowboys bringing him in, I was like, wow. I mean, that was, in my opinion, way worse when you looked at the allegations she was claiming. I mean, which she was claiming she was beaten and all sorts of stuff. No, you're right. He'll get picked up. But as soon as that 24-hour period goes on, he's going to get picked up by somebody, whether they like it or not.
Yep. Todd, got to hit the top of the hour.
Appreciate it, AJ. Thanks for the time as always. Okay?
All right, brother.
All right, thanks.
40 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
Trials and tribulations, worries and worriations. These were so.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You ought to make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had to work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now that's just first hour on the books, second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Winning Wednesday, and right now I want to make somebody a winner. If you want some free barbecue on us, I've got 2 free coupons for a free classic sandwich from Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Dickey's Barbecue Pit. And I tell you what, those good folks up in Spring, Texas, do it right. They do it right. Dickey's up in Spring, doing it right. If you want 2 free classic barbecue sandwiches at Dickey's, I need you to be caller number right now. Notice I didn't say what number. Just call me right now. Call me right now. I got 2 coupons for some free barbecue. The classic sandwich, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. You call me now. I'm giving these to you. 2 of them. You can have lunch on us. Who's got it? 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. Hello, who's this? Will Gibson. Bro, you way up there in Ohio.
Indeed.
You way up there in Ohio, man.
I am.
Hold on, man. Let me get you to hold on real quick, Willie. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Willie, don't go nowhere. Let me see. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
It's Keith Hennig.
Keith, you way over there and where you at, Keith?
Austin.
Keith, you got a Dickies in Austin?
Got Dickies in Austin. I get to Dallas periodically. They got Dickies up there. That's a big chain, young man.
All right, man. I guess I don't know, but now Willie Gibson gonna be mad because he's way up there in Columbus. I don't think they got a Dickies up in Columbus.
Oh, I'd be very surprised if they did.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do, Keith. I'm gonna give you these two. I'm gonna jump back over to the Will Gibson and see if they got a Dickies up in Columbus, and I'll find two more for him. How about that?
You are a fine young man.
Keith Hennig, I appreciate you as always, my brother.
Same to you.
Congratulations.
Too.
Say it again.
Congratulations to you as well.
Oh, bro. Hey, listen, man. Can't nobody tell me nothing right now, Keith. I'm
sure.
Bruh, my
Sure,
oldest son got married. I have a daughter in love.
Yes, you do. Congratulations on that. And a year from now, you'll have a grandchild.
Bruh, listen, don't rush it, but I'll take it.
I bet you will. You take good care.
All right, Keith, we'll get these out to you, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so let me go back. Hey, Willie, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You kind of low today. You must be at work. You all right?
I'm good. All is well.
You at work?
All is well. Yes, sir.
Keith said, Willie's just said, listen, I said all is well now. Don't be trying to mess up my 9 to 5. Hey, man, you got a Dickies barbecue up there?
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm trying to see if I need to give you some of these Dickies barbecue tickets.
Oh, yeah, about 20, 25 minutes away from it.
Oh, man, you're going to make me send you some coupons for Dickies barbecue so you can get a couple of sandwiches on your boy.
Oh, my God.
I got you. Hey, man, what's going on, bro? We were talking about a lot today. I've been talking about the new coaches down there in the Big 12. I'm trying to get the Texas Longhorn people to understand they haven't been relevant in Power 5 talk in a long time. You think football, they ain't in that discussion. You think basketball, they definitely not in that discussion. And then when I broke it down to the Big 12, they're not even in the top 5 football or basketball. Football, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and then I'll probably put, I don't know, man, probably put TCU in that number 4 spot. But basketball, you already know, man, Baylor, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech.
Yeah. It's interesting. Speaking of Kansas, Sean Miller of Arizona was relieved of his duties today and profiled and reports seem very similar to Mr. Self.
You know, here's the thing, bro.
Has a lifetime contract.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like Kansas is doing everything that they can to throw their support behind a guy that is as dirty as the kid on the Peanuts. Notice the kid on the Peanuts that every time you go around, there's a pile of dirt around him. That's Bill Self.
Yeah.
Pigpen, I think, is his name.
Pigpen, followed closely by the coach at Lexington, Kentucky. I'll say that. I'll leave that there.
Yeah, no. You ain't lying, though. That's what I'm saying. It's like the NCAA, and it's not even them. It's the FBI need to go on and finish that deal. Arizona just parted ways with Sean Miller. He should be on his way to somebody's prison, not assistant coaches, not these other guys that they're naming in these different stings. It needs to be the Rick Pitino's of the world. It needs to be the Bill Selfs, and it needs to be the Sean Millers. Oh yeah, and the former head coach of LSU.
Oh, yeah, too. Will Wade.
Yes, sir.
The current basketball coach.
Is he current? I thought they had. Oh, he is back. You sure right. My bad. I should have known.
I don't understand it. After I saw the documentary, I'm like, how did you people still have jobs? How?
Well, you know what's crazy is they talking about Rick Pitino as a candidate for a Power 5. I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona decides hey, we need to give Rick Pitino a look based on what he did at Iona. That to me is a travesty. That's why I said you'll never get me to somebody saying the transfer portal is not good for the sport. You'll never get me to say that the kids shouldn't be paid for their image, likeness, and whatever else they can get paid for, because the coaches get away with far too much and they get paid millions of dollars to do it.
Understood. Now, New Mexico State, are they in the WAC or the Pac-12? I know that New Mexico is in the WAC, isn't it?
Arizona's in the Pac-12. Who did you say?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
That's a good question.
They're in the WAC.
They're in the WAC.
Well,
okay.
I bring that up because you said Arizona. That kind of perked me up. Richard Pitino is not a head coach at New Mexico. Fired at Minnesota here in the Big Ten, and 12 hours later was hired as coach at New Mexico. So I was just thinking, New Mexico, Arizona, father versus son. That's a good big time play if that were to occur, but we'll see. That's funny though that Rick Pitino was a candidate at Arizona. Possibly. That's amazing. Amazing. Just, as long as he doesn't go to any Italian restaurants, I'll leave that there.
Yeah, man.
I'm on one. It's because of you, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't start being like me, Will. Now you's a good dude, bro. Don't let me rub off on you, man.
Right.
Well, the other big thing out there is, of course, they're talking about the kid at BYU now being the number 2 quarterback because his stock has risen and Justin Fields' stock has fallen, which I think is an absolute travesty. And Dan Orlowski, and I'm not just saying him, but I'm calling his name, should be ashamed of himself. And I was really glad to see Kirk Herbstreit not keep to the unwritten rules of broadcast journalists. He needs to be called out, man. He needs to absolutely be called out. And anybody that doesn't pick Justin Fields because of what they heard, shame on you, and you get what you get.
Well, here's the thing. It's Lions season. It's Lions season. 3 weeks before the draft. People are either talking guys down, hopeful that will cause them to drop to them because they really want them. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's a team, I don't know, 15. And then, by the way, the 15th pick is owned by the New England Patriots. I'm not saying it's them, but for example, sending those type of statements out to push a player down. That happens all the time. I mean, in Lions, it is what it is. And I think for what is occurring now with the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, they don't know. There's no medicals that are being circulated, not a lot of information. And so people are relying on word of mouth more than ever. And somebody's trying to catch somebody slipping is what it boils down to. Somebody's trying to catch somebody slipping. If I throw this out there, maybe I can get them to pay attention. And they maybe wanted to pick Justin Fields, and now they won't. That's what it is to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, I quoted you after that. Willie Gibson said it's lying season. You might not like that word, you might not like that fact, but it is lying season. And Justin Fields in New England would be beast mode. I mean, sorry, Marshawn Lynch, but it would literally be a beast mode move. You got Cam, you got Justin, you got something going on in New England.
And I don't know that it's them. I just use them as an example.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah. And okay, so let's see. Let's come up with another word. It's the season of half truths.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Carolina can still benefit from a Justin Fields, even though they got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold could be the stopgap to get Justin Fields in, get him NFL ready, and go. Because, that ain't a bad team. I hate that Teddy didn't work out there. I'm glad that they're giving him an opportunity to pick his next destination. But, again, Sam Darnold didn't close off the quarterback need in Carolina. And Carolina picks what, 9th? 8th. There you go. So he can slide just enough for them to get what they want.
Absolutely. And Sam Darnold, I think they're giving him 2 years. They picked up his 5th-year option, so he has 2 years. Joe Brady, and here's the thing. And I think Daniel Woody said it. He said, if Joe Brady can turn around Sam Darnold, he's a head coach in the NFL next year.
Agreed.
And I agree. So, okay, Carolina, Sam Darnold gets fixed by Joe Brady, and then he's gone. What happens year 2 without Joe Brady?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. I'm ready for it to happen, man. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm ready for it to happen so we can know what we going to know. I will say this, though. I got to take a quick break. You got a minute to stay with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm glad they don't have the combine. I don't miss the combine. I'm not a fan of the combine. I know everybody swears by what happened, but all that game film, it don't lie. All that these kids have done in the past, it don't lie. We'll be right back with Willie Gibson after this.
Listen carefully to this important message. Are you tired of struggling with monthly bookkeeping or always being behind? Maybe you're fed up with paying your CPA ridiculously high hourly rates for subpar services. At Finance Pal, we know your pain. We're small business owners who understand your tax and accounting needs. At Finance Pal, we take over your books and design a program custom tailored to fit your needs. Whether it's bookkeeping, payroll, bill pay, inventory tracking, or taxes, we have you covered. We handle some or all of these services for one flat, affordable, low monthly fee. Stop worrying about your books and drowning in paperwork. Let us worry while you focus on growing your business. The setup is easy, and we give you the tools and technology to make your monthly finances streamlined and organized. Call now for a free business assessment.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Yes, this is Jonathan Joseph with the Houston Texans.
All right, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I got one thing I got to play, and then I got to do a shout-out. So stay right there. We'll be right back right after this.
We are people of resilience. No matter what happens, we fight through the pain. We protect our traditions. We uphold our excellence. So let's protect our lives with vaccines we can trust. We can do this.
To learn more about COVID-19 vaccines, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
All right, y'all, back at it. Not ashamed to say I got my second vaccine, and I'm loving it. I'm hanging in there. I got a chance to see my grandchildren, got a chance to be at my son's wedding, and man, I'm glad I made that choice. Also, real quick, let me shout out to Naomi Driver. Naomi Driver is the 3-year-old niece of Houston Phoenix Fire Sidney Brown, Houston Phoenix Fire owner Sidney Brown, riding around with her 3-year-old niece. She's listening intently to the lunch break. Naomi Driver, hey girl, love you. All right, Willie, let me come back to you, man. We're talking about the draft and all that coming up. I'm ready for it to happen. I'm tired of talking about it. I just want to get to it, the speculation and all of that. When is the draft again? You know this stuff. I don't.
Actually, it's 3 weeks from tomorrow.
3 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, April 29th.
Like I'm one of those ones where I might just stop talking about it because I'm gonna wear myself out until it comes. Because a lot can happen before then, and like I'm not giving this to you in a bad way. I'm giving it to you in a good way. It's lying season. I don't trust nothing that nobody's saying right now. I'm glad that they don't have the combine, but I'm also ready to just get to it.
Oh, no question.
What do you think's going to happen, though, Willie? You got your ear closer to the ground than I do. What do you think's going to happen? Quarterback wise,
I'll say this. Been holding this for a while, and I've talked to no one. No one's told me this. Just strictly my thought, my feeling. All this Trevor Lawrence to number one is smokescreen. I believe, and this is not Buckeye fan, this is not Buckeye really talking at all. I think Urban Meyer takes Justin Fields at number one and ends all this. I really do. I think he had Justin Fields, didn't necessarily coach him, but he recruited him to Ohio State. He knows what Justin Fields is. Ryan Day is his offensive coordinator. He knows Ryan Day. He trusts Ryan Day. I just think Trevor Lawrence's facade is all a smokescreen. He's going to take Justin Fields and one.
I hear you. I don't disagree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened that way. But Jacksonville is that franchise that has got to get this right. Like, they got to get it right. They're not New England. They're not, I'm trying to think, Kansas City. They're not a team like that they can get it wrong and survive it. Jacksonville has got to get it right with their quarterback. Blake Bortles and everybody else. They got to get this one right. And it's almost like he can't go wrong if he goes Trevor Lawrence, but it will be questionable if he goes Justin Fields. And for whatever reason, Justin doesn't quite work out or develop as fast as Trevor does wherever else he would go.
But the thing is, again, take it for what it's worth this season of misinformation and half-truths, but the word is Trevor Lawrence is a one-read quarterback, and he benefited from the abundance of talent at Clemson. That's the word. And if you look, that's it. And if you look, argument could be made for such. Whereas Justin Fields, was the Orlovsky comments that you heard or repeated or what have you. Ryan Day came out the next day and said there were two plays that in the national semifinal Sugar Bowl against Clemson that Justin Fields made it to his fifth read twice in that game. Not one, not two, not three, not four, five. Fifth read on two separate occasions in that game against one of the highest rated defenses in the country in the national semifinal. So, it's basically a situation where personal preference. What do you think? Who are you going to attach your franchise to for the next 5 years? Because that's what you're doing when you take the quarterback in the top five.
Yeah, that's true. 10. That's true.
That's what you're doing. So
yeah, that's true.
I question the Jets. I think the Jets, I hope, again, not talking to anyone, I hope this Zach Wilson to the Jets is a smoke screen. I don't believe it is. Seeing that they traded Sam Darnold, but that's, one season. Mitchell Trubisky had one season too. If you go back and you look at 2019 Zach Wilson tape against UCLA, against USC, so it tells a different story than the film in 2020 when he played Coastal Carolina. Was it West Texas? I don't know, it just tells a different story. So you look at those, and these are people, talent evaluators, GMs, that this is what they do. And they miss it. And but you can't miss at number 2. You can't miss at number 2, or you won't miss next year, or you'll miss a check, or you'll miss a job if you miss at number 2 this year. So that's why I don't believe Zach Wilson at number 2 in New York is sketchy. Sketchy for me. To me, it is very, 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 very sketchy.
Yeah, I got to say, if the Jets don't go, whoever doesn't go number 1, they get what they get. And I feel bad about Robert Saleh because he's a good coach, good dude. But if the Jets don't go, whoever doesn't go number 1 with their pick, then you get what you get. I'm like this. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are pretty much can't miss. Anything after that, I don't know, man. I feel like you're rolling the dice. I'm not saying don't take Trey Lance, don't take Zach Wilson, don't take Mac Jones. I'm just saying, we just lost Willie. I'm just saying that those first 2 are can't miss guys. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Let me see if this is Willie back. Willie, is that you?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? Oh, can you hear me? I'm sorry, I had my mic off. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
I apologize. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I had your button down. I was saying that if the Jets don't take whoever doesn't go number 1 with their pick, then they get what they get. And I feel bad for Robert Saleh because the dude can coach, but you get what you get if you don't take, whoever doesn't go number 1. I'm not saying that Trey Lance and Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, that those guys aren't good pro prospects. But I'm saying pretty much Justin and Trevor are your can't miss guys in this draft. Everything else is a risk. Everything else is a risk. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's why I say I'm just ready for it to happen.
Oh, no question. 3 weeks, 22 days.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the better quarterback drafts coming up. There's some value in your top 5, top 6, and even your second-day quarterbacks. Kellen Mond is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I believe that. I don't know about Jamie Newman or Kyle Trask or Davis Mills. I don't know about them, but I think there's going to be some surprises in the later rounds. I also think that there are going to be, some negative surprises in the first round.
Oh, no question. And this is what we do, AJ. This is by no means enjoyable. I don't enjoy casting aspersions on young men pursuing their dreams. I don't, and that's not the intent. I say what I see. And so when I say Zach Wilson, you look at the 2019 tape, I say what I see.
Yeah.
And, I wish him well. I just don't know that at 2 in New York, if it was 2 in Charlotte, maybe. But, I mean, there's a modifier. There's an amplifier when you say New York. I mean, you just finished this experiment with Sam Darnold.
Yep.
And now Zach Wilson, it's a hype machine, that throw. He rolled out to the left and threw it back to the right. Sam Darnold made the same throw against the rush of the San Francisco 49ers for a touchdown.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah. Again, I'm looking to see what the Jets do. I'm looking to see what San Francisco does. Looking to see what Carolina does. Looking to see what the New England Patriots do. And quietly as it's kept, way down in the 3rd round, I'm looking to see what the Texans do. If a guy like Kellen Mond is still there in the 3rd round and they go out and get something else, I'm going to be questioning. I really am going to be questioning because, like me and Todd talked about earlier, Deshaun is probably done for at least a year, if not, depending upon what happens legally. I'm not talking about the civil case. I'm talking about the criminal parts of it. If he's found not guilty or, they don't have enough evidence to convict or anything like that, he's done in Houston. So are you running with Tyrod Taylor or are you picking your quarterback of the future? And we'll know more in that 3rd round when the Texans make their first pick.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. that entire scenario, how that works out, you're right, will be very interesting. So,
Yep. Atlanta is also another one to watch out for in this lying season. Matt Ryan, is he still a franchise quarterback? No.
He's not, but he's paid like one. They can't move on from him for 2 years.
Yeah, but you can bring in somebody like a Trey Lance.
You can.
Yep.
You can.
Yep.
You can.
I mean, if you can bring your future quarterback in behind Aaron Rodgers, you can bring your future franchise quarterback in behind Matt Ryan.
Oh, absolutely you can. You absolutely can. But it's just, what is that ownership group saying? Are they saying, I think we need a piece to go in the opposite Julio, and Matt can get us at least back to the playoffs? But then, like I heard it earlier this morning, you take a chance. You're not going to be bad this bad again. So, as you said, you have to take the quarterback now. Because in 2 years, Matt Ryan's gone.
Yeah. It is going to be interesting. Willie, any thoughts about the March Madness tournament now that it's come to a close?
They pulled it off. Congrats to Baylor. I helped Baylor because when I picked Gonzaga, and so I just thought it really was more so a situation where I hated on Gonzaga, but disliked them and didn't necessarily give them the credit they probably deserve about 5 years. And so after Devin Suggs hit that shot, I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm picking Gonzaga to win. So that probably helped Baylor. but yeah, I mean, they did it. They did it. And I'm glad that hopefully, this will take away the dignity and the bliss and all of that from the front of the mind for people when they think of Baylor. Now it's national championship and not Dave Bliss and what the situation was with that. I'll leave that there.
Yeah, I'm happy for Davion Mitchell. Obviously, he, picked the right school in his transfer, and now he's on his way to the NBA, bringing a chip with him out of school that many folks didn't think could win it. First school in Texas to win it since 1966, when Texas Wesleyan beat that school up in Lexington. So yeah, man, I while I had Gonzaga personally, I'm not disappointed in the story, all the storylines that went with Baylor winning it.
No, and you can't. I mean, it's they persevered this season more than any. Most people say, oh well, it's an asterisk. No, I think you give them a championship in the fourth. It's not a half.
Yeah, Willie, a lot of folks that want to cry asterisks and asterisk this, asterisk that are folks that never even competed for a championship on any level. It's hard to win a chip on any level. And that's why you got a lot of NFL teams that have not repeated. You got a lot of NBA teams that don't repeat. It's just not as easy as people think. I will never forget what Jerry Faust said to us in high school. Enjoy this moment. You may never get here on any level again.
Jerry Faust, that was your guy? That was a coach?
Just briefly, man. I had 1 year there.
Wow. Impressive. Never knew that.
Yeah. Huh? Yep. So, I mean, again, man, there ain't no asterisks in championships unless something happened in the middle of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's an asterisk in that Rams went over the Saints when they bulldozed my guy and that flag got stuck in everybody's pocket. That's an asterisk.
For sure. Too safe.
Willie, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, brother.
Oh, man. Willie Gibson 7 on Twitter and Willie Gibson on Facebook and Will Knows. Will Knows on Facebook.
All right, Will Knows. I'm going to get these tickets up there so you get you some Dickey's barbecue. You and Keith Hennick were my winners for this hour.
Oh, I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
All right, boss. You as well.
All right, Will Gibson, man. Good brother. Y'all follow him on social media. Very good brother. Very good brother. Hey, listen, let me do this before I forget. Let me go ahead and announce the winner of the lunch break March Madness Keeping Up with the Joneses bracket challenge. He came out of nowhere. And I literally text somebody and said, yo, bro, I think you won. And Big Mike, I owe you an apology because I thought you won it all. And then after the system updated, the winner of $500 this season in the lunch break Keeping Up with the Joneses M&M bracket challenges, none other than Delano Burton. Delano had Baylor and finished with a total of 115 and got the 500. And you know, Delano has won before, and he is not shy. He does not suffer from an overdose of humility. So I can't wait to get his audio or video of, yeah, I told y'all I was going to win. If you need help with your brackets next year, be sure and let me know. But we'll be reaching out to Delano to let him know he won the bracket challenge. Number 2 on the list was the young man that just got married yesterday. My son came in number 2 with 110 points. He had Baylor too. And then Big Mike came in 3rd with 107. Stephanie Bisco came in 4th with 106. Aki Davis was 5th, 104. Amber Shaw was 6th with 100. Alexis finished at number 7 with 100 points. Erica Agnew at number 8. Chi-Town finished number 9. I'm glad he didn't win. And then Todd Malcolm was way down there at number 10 with 93 points. So Todd, because my son beat you, I technically beat you. Todd, you came behind the Joneses again. How you feel? How does it feel to be so close, but yet so far away? Again, thank you for everyone that participated. I love the March Madness Bracket Challenge. So again, y'all, thank you to all the people that participated. We had 78 entries, but only 32 of them did them right. Everybody else did something wrong, and their points didn't count. I apologize to y'all, but again, you got to fill the bracket out all the way. So if ever you don't, get that you're locked in, that means you didn't do it right. But again, 32 people participated, and the winner again was Delano Burton. Congratulations to Delano. I'll be reaching out to him. We got to get audio or video before we dole out the money. Audio or video saying, hey, yo, I won big on the lunch break before we dole out the money. I'm not even giving you Luther Barbecue certificates unless you say, hey, yo, I won big on the lunch break. Come on, man. What are we talking about? We talking about practice, not the game. Practice. We talking about practice. All right, y'all. Let's see what else we got going on. Sean Miller fired at Arizona. I'm glad to see that they used the word fired. They didn't say separated or agreed to part ways or any of that. They said fired. He should be fired. A couple of other people should be fired. They're not. AJ, why are you ragging on people getting fired? Because when you cheat, you should get fired. You're leading student athletes, and you're cheating, and you're part of cheating scandals. You should be fired. FBI needs to do their job. Get in there. Yeah. Get in there. All right. Centauria Black, we got to get together. I know you've asked me to reach out to you. I got to do it. A couple of things he posted. Let's see. Wow, that's a heck of an analogy when I was talking about the coaches in college basketball. He said publicly Pitino doesn't want to come back. Publicly, Pitino has said he doesn't want to come back. And then he says, I agree and disagree with you on the portal. It's free agency. It is. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree that it's free agency. The only thing that's missing, in my opinion, is athlete pay. everybody can move when they want to, except for the athletes before now, and everybody's getting paid except the athletes. And again, let's not talk about scholarships. The kids earn the scholarships, and when you amortize that out based on what they generate in revenue, they should get bonuses. They should get bonuses. And those bonuses should be in some form of compensation. I mean, it's 2021, y'all. We got to stop with this old archaic, oh, that's what it used to be. It's the way it should be. People used to use leeches to treat blood issues. They don't anymore. We got to step up. We got to step up. You know, why should a kid be held to a commitment, but all the adults are not? You know, by the way, 17, 18, 19-year-olds change their mind all the time. You know, if you want to give a limit to the number of times they can change their mind, I will agree with that. But the whole they shouldn't have a choice, we're past that stage. We're past that stage. You know, John Calipari used to be Mr. Oh yeah, I love Massachusetts. I love UMass. No, I really love Memphis. Oh, Kentucky's on the phone. Hey, I really love Kentucky. But the kids got to stay committed. I'm sorry. And the whole, you play for the name on the front of the shirt and not the name on the back of the shirt. No. Coaches don't have to play for the name on the front of the shirt, then neither should the kids. Oh, the kids committed to the schools, not the coaches. The school wasn't in my living room lying to me and my son or daughter. The coach was. So if the coach can get out, my son or daughter can get out. I mean, there's really no argument against it. If you're objective, if you take your emotions out of it, let me go biblical. If you lean not to your own understanding, you'll see. You'll see. Whatever the coaches can do and assistant coaches should do, the kids should be able to do it too. So if you want to take their ability away to move, then I will meet you at the kids shouldn't be able to jump ship either. But I'm like this, maybe monitor the number of times they can move, not the fact that they can or cannot move. All right, let me take a break. I'll be right back right after this on the lunch break. Congratulations, Delano Burton won $500 on the lunch break. Keep it up with the Joneses. Pick'em challenge. All right, we'll be right back right after this.
It's now by calling this number.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
I'm Junior. We are people of resilience. No matter what happens, we fight through the pain. We protect our traditions. We uphold our excellence. So let's protect our lives with vaccines we can trust. We can do this.
To learn more about COVID-19 vaccines, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Winning Wednesday. Delano Burton won $500, part of the lunch break. March Madness, keeping up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge. Keith Hennig and Will Gibson both won free classic sandwiches from Dickey's Barbecue. Free classic sandwiches from Dickey's Barbecue. You can win too. And if you're ever in the Spring area, be sure and stop by the Dickey's there. Tell them AJ sent you. And you can either get the spicy or the regular. They got spicy or regular ribs up there. And, we got to talk food here on the lunch break, right? It's just only right. But, Dickey's Barbecue making that possible for us here on the show. All right, y'all. Listen. Let me get a quick sports update. I'll do it like that. I'll do a quick sports update. Two of the massage therapists accusing Deshaun Watson of sexual assault had a press conference yesterday, and it was set up by attorney Tony Busby. One of the women was not physically there, but a statement was read, including her name, and both of them talked about, feeling powerless, but now they feel empowered to have their voices heard, their stories told, and to hopefully seek justice. Houston Police Department has revealed that they have received additional police reports concerning Watson, and they will investigate all that they have received. So also Tony Busby alluded to the fact that the Houston Texans may be liable to some degree because apparently they loaned Watson a massage table and they referred him to some of the massage therapists involved. We'll keep you posted on that. Also, the Rockets going to be in action tonight. They're going to host the Mavericks at 7 p.m. They came up short just recently, losing to Phoenix 133-130. Had 7 guys in double figures. 3 of them were over 20 points in that loss. Also, the Spurs are going to take on the Nuggets tonight at 8. New Orleans is going to visit Brooklyn at 6:30 tonight. Kevin Durant is supposed to be back after missing over 20 games. We'll see how that works out for Kevin Durant. It'd be good to see him back after all that went on with him and Michael Rappaport. I just want to see KD play basketball. We're heading down the stretch, so I want to see who's who and what's what. Astros beat the Angels 4-2 thanks to a 2-run dinger in the 9th by none other than Carlos Correa. Mr. I want to be $300 million. I told you he'd go get that money somewhere. Astros are about to have their season home opener tomorrow against Oakland, and the first pitch will be at 7:10 p.m. Manager Dusty Baker is not a fan of the way that the Los Angeles Angels fans treated his Astros. They threw some inflatable trash cans on the field. Can I just say this real quick? The fans didn't get a chance to turn their ire against the Astros because of COVID. They're going to do it this year. Just like the Astro fans want folks to just, oh, well. The fans are going to do what the fans are going to do. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody, as long as it doesn't endanger somebody's safety or something like that, I'm not disagreeing with Dusty, but you got to let this play out and then we'll move on. So I get Dusty is that guy. He is a player's manager. He's going to always stand up for his guys. But still, this is the first chance the fan base really got a chance to express how disappointed they were with the Astros for their cheating. And then the Rangers, this is why I wanted to go ahead and read the sports update. The Rangers got their first win of the season, 7-4 over the Blue Jays. But they played in front of about 38,000 people, and many of them were not wearing masks. And I'm sorry. I just got no respect for that. Again, if there is a major outbreak because of that, nobody's from the Rangers organization is going to take responsibility. Nobody from Major League Baseball is going to take responsibility. And the governor of Texas is definitely not going to take responsibility. I'm still waiting on him to take responsibility for ERCOT and all the people that suffered because they thought they could do it better than the rest of the country. So, yeah, Rangers, you on your own. I got nothing to say. All I'll do is read your scores. I got nothing to say about the Rangers organization. Nothing. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, what it do, baby?
What's going on? No, I just wanted to call in and say congratulations for you and your son, man. Happy for you every day.
Brother, thank you so much, man. I could not be a happier father. I could not be a happier father right now.
Yeah, that's always a blessing, man. Just put a smile on your face and just uplift the spirit. Versus all that we've been through, AJ, God still have a way of giving us some joy.
Absolutely.
I like to show the audience, look, happiness is temporary, but when you find peace and joy, it passes all understanding.
Yep. That's where I am right now, man. I don't need nothing else. I'm grateful for what I have right now.
Amen. And y'all say this, and I have to go. I saw a bit of the press conference with the lady.
Yeah.
And I saw a very, very distraught individual. First what I saw a lady in a great deal of pain and looked like somebody or something had troubled her. But again, now, if you felt that way on yesterday at the press conference, and you saw the hurt and pain that you seen it in that young lady's face, why now and why not when it occurred? That's the question I have. I'm not taking up for Deshaun and nobody that disrespect or belittle women at all. But when I see someone like that, man, that's traumatizing. And so to me, if she was that hurt, why now versus when it happened?
Well, she kind of addressed that in her statement yesterday when she said she was afraid. She was absolutely afraid, and she's not afraid now because she knows that she's not alone. She knows she's got the law on her side, and she wants to stand up now for other people, not just herself, but for other women that have been, she even said women and men that have been sexually assaulted. And again, man, I can't fault her or blame her for that. In an ideal world, it would come out right when it happened, but there's some people that just don't process like that.
No. I'm not faulting young lady by any means, but I want to share with any woman that's listening and that's part of the lunch break. For any reason that you feel ashamed or you just don't know if it's the right timing, look up AJ Jones. Look up Ferdinand Coleman. Come to us, doctor. I stand beside you. I'm for right all the way around, whether it be for a man or a woman. If you don't think that you have enough strength to go forward and explain that you've been violated, come find me AJ, and I promise you, you're going to want to stick right beside you and we'll go as fast as we need to go. So that's how it should be. And you're here to be helpful to one another. Not to belittle people, not to judge people, because we all got some kind of problem. And if Deshaun definitely has a problem, he needs to get that thing, sought after, all his medals and all that contract that he has should be stripped from him. I'm just that kind of person. So I'm so right, AJ. And I just want everybody to know that, look, you do have somebody that will stand beside you in a time of trouble.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. Again, I want this to do whatever it's going to do. If it's going to court, let's get it to court. If it's not, let's get it settled. If there is criminal stuff involved, let's get to the bottom of that. But in the meantime, I am praying for everyone involved. I've said time and time again, there will be a lot of people that will surround and I'll say this negatively, but the victims. But I'm also not in the business of throwing people away. You had a judge that made a statement in a ruling of an student athlete that was caught sexually assaulting a woman. And the judge said, I don't want to ruin his life. And he gave that young man a 6-month sentence, not a 6-year sentence. Well, guess what? A lot of young black men don't get judges that make those statements on their behalf. So whether, if Deshaun is convicted and he never plays football again, Deshaun still has a right to be rehabilitated, redeemed, restored, and go on and live a healthy life. He's not trash. You don't take him out back and shoot him in the back of the head. You help him, and you help him get back on track.
And that's well put at it, because at the end of the day, man, we all suffer and struggle with something in life. It may not be that horrific, no matter whose side you're on. Everybody under the sun, AJ, has a problem. And we all need therapy at some point. Even if it's not sitting on someone's couch, we need to get the word of God in our hearts, because the word of God teaches you how to treat people. And if nobody can never teach you, go to church. Get behind somebody Bible-believing tools that can help you live your life and show you how to treat people. We're supposed to treat people, AJ, don't know how we want to be treated.
Ferdan, you know I love you, bro. You know I love you, and I don't disagree with you. But let us be real for a second. You know, some of the worst places to get treated is in some people's pews, man. I don't know what happened to some churches. They're supposed to be hospitals, but they throwing out the sick folk, Doc. That's all I'm saying. And
we need to talk about that. And I'm in total agreement, because every church that's supposed to be under the name of the Lord and Savior is not of his truth. So listen, I'm saying, get with someone where it can relate to your spirit. When you can believe in the Bible says, get it for yourself. Read the scripture. When you get to a shepherd who knows better how to break the bread to you, you'll better understand. But we all got to get it for ourselves. So get with a church that you can very well connect with. That connects you. I can say, how can you say, AJ, can you say yoked up? You got to be yoked up with the church, because, man, you can't go and be under everybody's teachings, because everybody that's under the church, man, they not right.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, long as we can agree on that, we can agree on anything, bro.
We're on the same page. We may be in a different chapter right now, but we're on the same page.
Yes, sir. Ferdan, be safe out there. Tell my sister said hello, bro.
Yeah, God bless everybody, especially the ones that are hurt. Because hurt people, AJ, that hurt people, and we just want to be somewhere we can help everybody. God bless you.
Amen, man. I appreciate you. Ferdan, always a good call, man. Always a good call. Let's see, Cindy Brown. I want to shout out to her niece again, Naomi Driver. Naomi Driver was riding around with Auntie Cindy Brown, listening to the show, and I got to give her a lot of love. Kimberly Negrete, thanks for tuning in. Ursula Surreal, thank you for tuning in. Queen Chris Ann, one of my favorite people, thank you for tuning in. Keith Benton, Todd Malcolm, Keith Hennick, Santoria Black, appreciate it. Let's see, some other folks. Felicia, Yolanda, Green, Johnson, Jones, Smith, Barney III, what's up? TD Blackshirt says Scott Drew is not leaving Baylor. His top 4 for basketball: Baylor, Oklahoma, Iowa State, and Texas. Texas ain't in that top 4, bro. Texas ain't in that top 4. They just not. They ain't been in that top 4 for a minute. I'm just saying, man. I know y'all don't want to listen to me. I know y'all don't want to believe me, but UT ain't in that top 4. They not. So anyway, let me get ready to go. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does this stuff every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. And then, of course, you got Erica Campbell and Griff in the morning, get up morning, 6 a.m. to 9. Then you got Linda J, you've got Shiloh Radio, and your boy will be back with Throwback Thursday. You know that's me and Chris Gardner. So y'all come through. Y'all be sure and come through on that. It's going to be a good time. All right, listen, let me get ready to go. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Wash your hands, wear your mask, sanitize everything around you. Be sensitive to everybody around you. And when you see that racism, kill it, not the person or the people, the racism. You can kill it. You can kill it. Congratulations, Keith Hennick, Willie Gibson, on winning your Dickey's Barbecue, free classic sandwiches, and congratulations, Delano Burton, on winning the lunch break, Keeping Up with the Joneses March Madness Challenge. Won $500. Keep listening for your chance to win. All right, y'all. Be blessed. I'm out.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. Drug maker Johnson & Johnson announced it found a quality problem.
Sorry.
Wilkes with what you need to know today. President Biden is moving up the deadline for adult eligibility for COVID-19 vaccines to April 19th. Mr. Biden had previously called for states and territories to make all adults eligible for shots by May 1st. As of today, 36 states have opened eligibility for vaccinations to people ages 16 and older, while 12 others and the District of Columbia are already set to do so by April 19th. U.S. Congressman Alcee Hastings has died. The civil rights lawyer, Florida's first black federal judge, and the longest-serving member of the Florida delegation fought a 2-year battle with pancreatic cancer. Congressman Hastings was 84 years old. Taco Bell plans to hire at least 5,000 workers in a single day later this month when the food chain temporarily converts parking lots into job fairs. On-the-spot interviews will take place at nearly 2,000 companies.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Missed you guys yesterday, but y'all know I was in heaven with my son and my new daughter-in-law and the entire family. Got to spend some time with my grandchildren. So again, y'all, thank you for your prayers. Please keep my son and his new wife, Devin, in your prayers because, you know, they're a young couple. They're going to need it. So as always, y'all, not this, definitely this. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Y'all take care.